So once again, good afternoon everyone. Welcome to today's webinar with the topic of item charge. Okay, so this is our agenda today. So we will always start with the item charges overview and also to perform its setup and also the application of it. Then also we will also viewing the posting result of the item charges. Okay, so let's get started from the item charge overview. So basically, what is item charges? So item charges, it will view as part of your cost for your item when you're performing trading. The example for it, such as the freight charges, the insurance, and the brokerage charges. So all these charges, when you buy in your item, you will transfer these charges as part of your cost of the item, right? And also this cost of your item will affect your profit for selling this item also. So that's why we call it item charges. Okay, so basically item charges, it is an record for the financial side, which is not affecting any inventory quantity for that item. So let's see what scenario you have for the purchase. Okay, you have a purchase order from your vendor which is not yet posted, and you have received an invoice of 150 from the same vendor for the freight service. So what comes to your mind first? Is it some transaction like this? The item line and the GL line for that postage charges, the freight charges? Okay, so if you are going to do this, which means you are bearing these postage charges for yourself instead of charging it as a part of the cost of the item. Okay, so today we are going to introduce some item charges features, which is the item charges will be treated as part of the cost of the item. Alright, so on the other hand, we have the sales scenario as well. So you have several shipments, okay, already made to your customer, but your shipping department inform you that they have insured the $40 of the goods for the shipment, for all those shipment. Okay, so you as an accountant, so how are you going to treat this $40 into your part of your cost of the item? Is it you are still going to use the GL account? Alright, so in this scenario, we suggest to use the item charges because this will affect your profit directly. So later you will see the posting result, then you can have a further understanding on what is it affecting for the cost and also the profit. Alright, so let's have a look on this, why we need to use these item charges. So basically there are three main points. So the first point is the less discrepancy. So for this, imagine you are using the GL account and you don't know this GL account is charged for which item, which transaction of item, which batch of item. So this one you will spend your time on digging here and there to find your supportive documents, of course. So the next one is maintain focus and keep the inventory cost correctly. Okay, why I said so? Because you can see the GL account is not really tagged to the item. I should say the batch of the item you buy in or you sell it. So of course you need to dig here and there to find out the real cost, I should say the real cost and the actual profit for that item of sales. Alright, so for extended from these 2 points, you can improve your operational efficiency, just like the saving the time for digging here and there to find out the freight charges should be charged to which batch of item. Alright, so this one will also I should say the very good way for you to document all your charges as part of your item cost, and also this is better for you to know your profit from selling and having trading with this item. Alright, so let's get started on how it works. So always we will perform the setup and the application, and also viewing the posting result for the application of this function. So for the setup part, we will talk about the item charges setup. So the item charges setup will be a very quick setup because just a few columns you need to define, and also the application of it and the posting result of it. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, let's have a look in our NAV to see how we could set up these item charges. Okay, so extended from the scenario we mentioned just now, I assign myself as an accountant, and I'm running the my company is running a furniture trading industry. So in this in all this example, I'll be using an item which is the furniture. Okay, so let's get started from the setup. Okay, so you can search this item charges from the search bar, and also you can find it in the inventory, then setup. Okay, so you can see basically there are 5 columns here. You can see here the numbers, the description, the general product posting group, and the VAT product posting group, and the search description. Okay, so what is all this column mean to you for the setup? So let's set up one item charges which we will be using later. Okay, I will set up an item charges with the name of insurance. Yes, insurance. Okay, so the number is just the item charges code, and the description you can put like this: insurance for cargo shipment. I should say cargo shipment. Alright, so this is the description for this item charges code. And also you can see here, once I have decided my description, the search description will exactly the same with my description. Okay, so no worries for you to like copy one more time. Alright, so if you are not satisfied with this search description, you can always change it. So cargo, okay, let's do something like this so you can see the differences. Alright, so the next one, this is the core part, I should say, because this posting group will decide which GL account you are posting to. Okay, so for this item charge, I will still use back the service as my product posting group, general product posting group, because the insurance is one of my service, and also the product posting group for the VAT, I will just use no VAT, which means this should not involve in any taxation. Alright, so basically we are done with the creation of the item charges. So we have done the item charges setup part. Okay, so very nice, very fast, very quick and straightforward. So you can see here we have, once again, you can see here I have my item charges code, the description for it, then the related product posting group for it, the general one, and the GST, no, the VAT one. Alright, so there's it, the setup for the item charges code. Okay, so click OK to close today's window. So we will use this insurance code for the second scenario. Okay, so let's close this. Then before we go to the application part, I should introduce some costing method for you, because we keep mentioning the costing issue at the very beginning. Right? Okay, so basically in NAV there are 5 costing methods. So I believe the top 3 is the most popular one, which is the FIFO. FIFO is stand for first in first out. So it will use the oldest cost to sell out first. Okay, so yeah, first in, first out. Then the second one is the average. So it will average the cost of the item according to the quantity on hand to sell this item out. Then the standard from from the words literally, you can see the price is always that one, the cost is always that one, so it will never change. Okay, then the fourth one is the LIFO. This is an, I should say, upside down costing method from the FIFO, because this is the last in first out. It used the latest cost to be sell out first. Quick introduction for the all 5 costing methods. So all these costing methods you can find in your item card and define inside your item card. Okay, so since now you have some ideas about the costing method, let's see how we can perform these item charges in our daily operation work. Okay, so basically there are 2 ways to include the item charges into your documents. Okay, the first one is in the open order. So how we define this order is the open order. So the open order, you can always see there is a field with the name of status in your purchase order and the sales order. So if you are not posting anything from that order document, you will see the status is open. Alright, so we name this type of orders as the open order. So since it was never being posted any document, so you can include the item charges together with the item lines. Okay, so the other one is the separated invoice. Okay, do you still remember the scenario 2, just the shipment and the insurance? So that one, we need to attach again the item charges from the other invoices, because the shipment was already posted and we are unable to change something in our sales order anymore. Okay, so we need to attach the item charges from the other invoice. Alright, so let's go back to our scenario, the first scenario, the purchase scenario, which is the open order scenario. So again, you have an purchase order from a vendor which is not yet posted, and you receive an invoice of $150 from the same vendor. The $150 is for the freight charges. So you yourself as an accountant, you are responsible to record this to your item cost and make sure it is updated correctly. Okay, so what are we going to do with this scenario? So, okay, let's have a look in NAV, back to NAV. So, this is a purchase scenario. I should open a new purchase order. Okay, the purchase order, the same. I will still going to buy this item from this guy. Due date is still the same, DIN 002. Okay, this date. Okay, I'm gonna buy this 1900S, the Paris gas chair, into the logo and 3 of it. And also I'm going to add back my item charges line, the purchase freight. 1 unit of this. 1 unit of this 150. Okay, so now, like I mentioned just now, the item charges should be tagged to the item. I would like to tag the item charges to the item line. Okay, you can go to the line, then the item charges assignment. Okay, so you can get this baby window and you will see a line which is exactly the item line in your PO. You can see here the item number. Okay, so from here, what you are going to perform? Okay, so the key here is that you can see here there are some red words at the bottom. okay, at the bottom. So this indicates we have remaining quantity of the item charges to be assigned to the item lines. Alright, so since this is only one line, we can just put the quantity to assign as one unit of the item charges will be charged fully on this item line. Okay, so this is what it means. Okay, so if you have multiple lines, you can see here there is the get item charges assignment, suggest item charges assignment. So you can always click on that if you have multiple lines, because this example we have only one line, so I am unable to click this. Okay, so always remember the quantity to assign is to specify how many units of item charges is required to be assigned on this item line. Alright, so always remember the sum of this column is always 1. Okay, because you are going to break this 1 unit of item charges into multiple item lines. Alright, so I will just put 1 in this column because I'm going to assign 1 unit of my item charges on this item line. So everything is done, then click on OK for it. Okay, now we have done the, I should say, the tagging on this item, between this item and item charges line. So let's have a post on it. Okay, let's have a post on it, both receive and invoice. Okay, so now you can see my my posted invoice. I still have my 2 lines with the 400 plus of the value. So what actually this affect my costing, because I'm bought in some item with the item charges. So where you can check on this, there is a report with the name of vendor item purchase. So this will be more, I should say this will be more easy for you to trace. So just now I buy this item with this guy, the London Postmaster. And what item I have bought in 1900-S. Okay, so let's have a look on it. Okay, so you can see I have my total cost of 400 something, which is the posted total instead of only my item value. Okay, so we are done with the open order scenario. Okay, so we are done with this. Let's have a close on it. So what's next? Let's go to the next scenario, which is in the separated invoice. Okay, so this is the same scenario we showed at the very beginning of the presentation. So there are several shipments has been made to your customer, but today your shipping department have informed you that they have insured all the shipments with the total of $40 for the insurance, and you also, the accountant, you need to make sure this insurance was tagged to these shipment lines and to review its cost and the profit. Alright, so let's have a look on this always, because this is the separated invoice, so we should start with the invoice, the sales invoice. Alright, okay, so let's have a new sales invoice. Okay, so the same on the header, you can always put this in your customer information. So I'm going to do this and this. Okay. So the same, you can put in your customer information on the header, but now the only difference is under the line. So what should you put under the line in order to record this $40 of insurance charges? Okay, so we can put the item charges as the type, then select the related item charges. I'm going to use the insurance, which we created just now. Okay. On OK, I'm going to use 1 unit of these item charges as well. 1 unit of how much? $40. Okay, so now you can see I have only $40 in this sales invoice. So how should I tag my item to this item charges line? Because I don't have item here. Okay, so no worries, the same. You can go to the lines, then the related information, then click on the item charge assignment. Okay, so don't be stressed if you see nothing here. Okay, if you would like to get the shipment line, you can see there is a button here, get shipment line, click on it. Okay, so from here you can see all this shipment line with the same vendor number as your invoice. Okay, so for this case, I'm going to select only these two, because only these two I am going to be charged for my insurance. Okay, highlight them and click OK. So you will get 2 lines here. Okay, so now you have multiple lines, and you have 1 unit of $40 for the insurance to be assigned between all these item line. So how are you going to assign? How are you going to proportion it? Okay, so you can click on this, the suggest item assignment, the suggest item charges assignment, sorry. Okay, so you can see 4 options here. What are these 4 means? So let's go back to our slide. Okay, so basically if you are using the NAV 2018 and below, you will only see the first 2 options. Okay, the last 2 options is only available for NAV 2018 and above. So from here, you might find something is different, but don't worry, the concept is the same. Alright, so let's have a introduction for these item charges options. So equally, from the words you can tell this item charges is going to break equally among the lines. So if you are going to have 2 lines, it will break into half and half to make it as 1 unit. Okay, so this is what it meant by equally. The second one, by amount. Okay, by amount, it will assign the item charges according to the value of the item line. So which means the most expensive item line will get the most bigger part of the item charges ratio. Okay, but still it will share among the lines to compare the value of each lines of item. Okay, so the third one and the fourth one is by weight and by volume. All these field, both weight and volume, is assignable in the item card. So this will distribute the item charges according to its weights and also its volume. So which means the heavier item is having the bigger portion of the item charges, and also the bigger volume of the item is, it will share the biggest portion of the item charges. Okay, so for this example, I'm not going to make everything complicated, I will just use the by amount option. So it will break my item charges according to my item line's value. So I'm click on this. Okay, so you can see still the sum of the column quantity to assign is 1. Okay, then as you can see here, this here. Okay, so you can see here there is some strange numbers, I should say, assigned to each line. If you are not really satisfied with the suggestion from NAV, you can always change this. I should change this to 0.7, and you can see 0.7 plus with the 0.333 something, which is more than 1. So you can see here I get some red words here. The 0.0333 something is the extra. So I will change this to 0.3, so to make it as 1. Okay, so the red word is no longer here. Okay, so if you are not satisfied with the suggestion from NAV, you can change it manually. And also, by changing this quantity to assign, you can see here the amount to assign is floating. It keep changing. Okay, so let's change back to the by amount suggestion. So you can see here the amount changed. Okay, so if you are satisfied with this portion of the item charges, so click OK on this. Okay, before posting this, let me show you something. Okay, let's post the shipment. Okay, let's get back to have a look on the sales order that is having the item inside here. Okay, why we are creating the sales, the item charges in the other sales invoice? Because this sales order is no longer open order. It was released because I have already posted my shipment. Okay, quantity to ship is already 2. Okay, now let me post an invoice for it. Okay, then the other one is this. Also, I am having one item shipped for the shipment. Let's have propose on the invoice. Okay, so now I want to show you the before and after the item charges. So the same, I'm going to show you in the customer item sales. Okay, this customer with this item of sales. Okay, let's have a look on it. Okay, now you can see I have invoiced the 3 quantity of this item in total, 2 plus 1. Okay, 2 plus 1. So this is the before posting the item charges to all these 3 items. So now let's get back to the item charges invoice of $40. I have already the item charge assignment for that 2 sales order, the sales shipment. So let's post these item charges. Okay, I have posted these item charges, so I get this posted sales invoice with only 1 line, which is the item charges. And the item charges, so now we have $40 of extra charges on that item. So let's go back to generate again the same report with the same filter value. So from this guy, the Canon Group, and also this item, the gas chair, and preview this report. So you can see here, I should give you the view for the left and right. Okay. Okay, so on your left, you can see here, the amount is 375.30. This is the amount, but the profit is $82. Okay, so now on your left is the transaction, which is before the item charges. On your right is the transaction after posting the item charges. So you can see there's a big difference of $40 on the profit column, the 122 and $82. So this $40 of the variance is on the item charges for the insurance. So imagine now you have the visualization of the item charges on how it affecting your profit, right? Okay, so if you are using the GL account to record your freight charges, you will not be able to see the result on your right. Okay, the result will still remain as your left result, which is your profit is lesser. Okay, why? Because the GL account, which means you are bearing this cost of the item by yourself. You are not charging it to your customer. Alright, so this is on the cost of the item, how it reflects and affecting your profit and the cost. Alright, so I think that's all from me, from the example. Thank you everyone for joining this quick session with me.